What's good, y'all? It's your girl Alexis with Recap Sports Focus. And then we got our other hosts.
What's up? This your boy King Solly, man. Recap Sports Focus, where there ain't no capping. You feel me?
All day.
Yes, and it's Big Boss, the Coach of the Year extraordinaire. We're here, Recap Sports Focus.
It's lit. So let's talk about how we even wanted to start this podcast in the first place. So I had an idea about 3 years ago that at some point I knew I wanted to tap into the sports world when it came to podcasting, but I just didn't know who yet. But I knew I wanted somebody that had personality, but also knew what they were talking about, and sports was what they loved. So it's crazy that me and my dad, we talked 2 weeks ago. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even know what came about it, but someone was just like, just say it.
It was probably about, as we usually talk about them Cowboys and them
Yeah,
Raiders.
we was talking about the Cowboys and Niners, and then we somehow got into that conversation because we always do a recap with each other, so it's like, why not do a recap with the people?
Yeah, I gotta tell them how it is.
Exactly.
And tell them that the Niners are the best team.
That's it, man.
Well, after tonight's games, I don't know. It's looking real fly Eagles fly, even though I'm not an Eagles fan, but that was a good game, but we'll get to that game later. So the first game we want to cover is the Raiders versus the Bears.
Raider Nation, what's up, man? Raider Nation. Hey, check this out, right? I'm always love the Raiders, the Raiders, they've been having their ups and downs. But I would say this, it always starts off first with the quarterback. And, Jimmy G, man, he got to stay healthy. I mean, the problem is, if you don't, you're not on the field, to get a momentum and get some W's. I mean, come on, man. You're supposed to get the Chicago Bears, but I don't care if I got to come limping out there. You feel me? I'm going to try to play, but Jimmy G is just, man, it's never a dull moment with him and him staying healthy.
Yeah. I agree. I don't think they had the right backup quarterback to get the job done.
Yeah.
Personally, to beat the Chargers, because I don't feel like the Chargers are horrible, but they're not the best either. So it's like, and I feel like the Raiders kind of fall into the same boat as that. Like, they're not horrible, but they're not the best. It's like it's a gamble if they'll make it or if they won't. Just depends on the season. But I knew the Chargers was gonna give them a run for their money. It wasn't just gonna be an easy win.
The Bears, you mean?
Oh yeah, the Bears.
Yeah, the Chicago.
My bad. Yeah, the Bears.
Oh, good.
Yeah, well, I'm a Bay Area guy, and the Raiders, kind of unstable football program. I don't know what to say about the Raiders, but I will say this: you bit off more than you could chew today from a team that had only won one game.
Right.
You let a team come in your house. What? Right? Well, hold on. Were they on the road? Where was that game played?
On the
road.
Yeah, but the bad part about it is the Raiders seem like they wasn't there. You got to have everybody playing, giving 100%. Only saw maybe a few handful of players really fighting. There's a big problem with the Raiders organization. I wonder whatever happened to just win, baby.
Right. Well, it just win. You know what? I mean, I got to chime in on that, And you know what? I got to touch bases on that. I mean, they have had the ups and downs from the coaching stability point as John Gruden. When John Gruden did have them, they were going into the right direction. But this is what I got a problem with the coaching now. You bring over Devontae Adams. Devontae specifically says he wants to come to the Raiders because of Derek Carr. That's his buddy from Fresno State. They played college together. And then the next year, you trade Derek Carr to the New Orleans Saints. To me, like you said, because old Big Boss, that really don't make no sense on the standpoint of some continuity there. So now we are, it's been slithering through the locker room that Devontae Adams possibly wants traded. So now
Traded.
we back.
Well, there's just no future.
But where
It's just no.
they suggesting him to get traded to? That's the
Well,
Well,
he killed the noise on that. He said that, and the team said that they're not looking to trade him. I mean, that was just
gave him
yeah.
the back.
but it was a package deal.
Yes, it was. But you know, you gotta understand. David Carr had already had already outgrow his welcome before Devontae Adams had got there. So they're thinking maybe by bringing him here, this would get him an opportunity to play to the way that they wanted him to play. But he just had enough last year. They were tired of him getting up to the game and failing with no poise, no ability to win the big game. So they just had enough. And I want to tell you, have you watched the New Orleans game yet? It's the same old, same old car.
Same old car. It's just like Garoppolo. No matter where you take them, they're still gonna give you the same results. And hate to say it, I mean, even same thing you've seen with Dak. You're getting the same results. He's giving me Tony Romo vibes, but better. Where it's just you're just bare minimum, and that's Derek Carr.
Yeah, well, one thing I'm gonna say this: Derek Carr did bring Devontae Adams over. I don't care how we look at it, how we feel about it. Same old car. The car was running. It wasn't broke down. The Jimmy Garoppolo cars, it stayed breaking down.
It was giving it needed a tune-up.
You know what I mean? Now I'm not saying the car is five-star top 5 quarterback. No. However, he was great recruiting when he brought Devontae Adams over. Another thing, I just don't feel like the coaching with Josh McDaniels, I just don't think he's getting to the players. I mean, you gotta, if you're going to Chicago, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Other time zone change, maybe get there a day early.
Right?
Yeah. Prepare yourself.
Get your team prepared to go to Chicago, to prepare yourself for that time zone change. I mean, like we said, man, it's just horrible, man. It doesn't make sense. I mean, the stadium's beautiful. The city's beautiful, but
yeah,
but that sounds great. But you got to make the play on the football field. And today in the game, if you looked at it, you got the Josh Jacobs situation. He's only averaging 2.9 yards per carry. That's almost unheard of for a reigning NFL yards carrying champion the year before. I think the stats was something that hasn't happened since Nick Bonacani back in the 40s.
That's a great point.
Yeah. So, and I'm watching him today. If you see this game, he's shaking his head, really disappointed. And it's not because the holes are not there. It's because of the type of plays that they're running. Whatever happened to the misdirection handoffs, no sweeps, no nothing. It's kind of, I'm in agreement with you. I like what you said, Coach Solly. The playmaking for the individual players just not there. He's not getting the best out of his players.
Not at all.
And I feel like the Bears defense just came out better when it turned in terms of the passing game.
Well, we saw that in the pregame. Yeah, we saw it in the pregame. They had attitude. Let's just go out there and beat them up.
Now I'm gonna tell you a little bit on the Bears. They got a rookie quarterback came in. He was a Division II quarterback. Yeah. Justin Fields didn't play. He's hurt, and he's another guy that's always hurt. I mean, shout out to the rookie quarterback coming in and playing pretty good. They kind of happy saying he might be the starter. He brought a lot of morale to the team. They said a lot of his family members, they did come to the game. A lot of his old teammates came to the game that he played with on his college team. They had a little different energy with him behind the court, behind the center. What y'all think about that?
Well, he can play.
Yeah.
He's a prototype quarterback. He's tall. He's 6'5". He's got a strong arm. He can play. He's mobile. The difference between, I believe, him and Justin Fields is that he's poised. This kid's
Mm.
not. He was poised. He's looking upfield. He's going through his progressions. He's poised, and he got the victory. I mean, this is the league. It's NFL. It stands for not for long. It's not so much how you play. It's just if you win games, you get an eyeball looked at you. So
Yep.
the young kid did good today.
Yeah. It's just downright. I'm gonna tell you this though. It's just downright terrible. You lose to a 1-5 team. I don't care, man. The Raiders should have won that game, man.
But this is what they always say about the NFL. Any given Sunday, it could change. Where the 5-1 team could be looking real 1-5-ish. It could happen
Right.
any given week. And that today was a primary example. But I mean, it's Raider-esque. Don't the Raiders always give that to you? It's like they look good for a couple of games, and then it's like, here go the Raiders.
Wah, 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 wah.
Every time, it's like, here go the Raiders.
Yeah.
Only Raiders can do that.
No, disagree. I agree. However, they do need to step their game up. Definitely need to step their game up.
Because the Bears running game, it was solid today.
What's bad morale when a team does have no fight in you? When there's a stereotypical a team personality is that once you get behind, the game's over. So I don't know what they need to do down there.
So would you say it's an identity issue then?
Well,
so who do you think needs to get removed?
Well, Jimmy G, like I'm back to the quarterback, like I said, Joe. I mean, he's not a bad quarterback when he's on the field. However, he can't stay on the field. If we could just keep the man healthy and keep him upright, because Mr. Hoyer, I get it with this Patriot thing with Josh McDaniels. He want all his old Patriot buddies, but nah.
Well, you said the key word, old. And those guys are not really good football players anymore. But I want to go up on the defensive side of the ball. The Raiders can't tackle. Once you get past that front four, everybody's arm tackling. And I hate to say it, I'm a friend of Marcus Peters' father, but did you see that Ole tackle he did today? Whoa, big fella. That arm tackling, get it out of the way. See, that stuff right there it was on Did You See It TV. We got a problem with that. The Raiders used to be a rough, rugged I want to put my finger on the pulse of the problem. You shouldn't have left the town. And that's what I'm sticking
That's
to.
one thing. I think it's an identity issue. I feel like a couple of teams have an identity issue where they were once great. They don't have that piece. It's like a missing piece to make them great. The Raiders don't have a coach. They're missing the
black hole.
With heart.
No black hole.
They don't have a coach with heart.
Yeah, no more black hole. They had a mentality when they were in Oakland. Fight.
It's different when it's town biz.
Yeah, it ain't town biz no more. It's show biz.
Well, that's the perfect one-liner right there. It's show biz.
Definitely, I mean,
it's flashy now.
Leaving the town and leaving Oakland, definitely you missed that originality. You missed the grit. However, the stadium issue, we know that, but the stadium, was the issue. I think, and definitely John Gruden, he brought that town business down there with him. But once you got rid of John Gruden, who really could touch bases with the town and knew about how the Oakland Raiders and Al Davis and how the whole thing worked, there you lost that morale. However, they is still fighting. It was only one game,
But it's going to be a domino effect.
In Las Vegas, they are behind the Raiders. They believe in. However, it's just staying healthy. It's still just getting that continuity. It's still getting that stability as an organization.
Unless Jimmy G coming back anytime soon, y'all finna look the same for the next couple games.
Nah, we'll be all right.
Okay, well, I just want to say this to all the listeners. If you got a fantasy football team, Sit Jimmy G. Don't. I'd say you're sitting right now because it's not going to help your team. He hasn't scored any point, and right
But
now, yeah, right now, I'd go with the backup quarterback. Pick
Yeah.
him. He's a long shot. My money would be on him.
He's young. You can mold him.
Yes,
Why not? That's
I'd
how I
pick him.
feel. That's how I feel with a couple of teams. Some of them, some of these QBs getting ready to go out. So why not lace somebody else's boots up? Why put all your and Jimmy G though? What is that an investment?
Jimmy G's for Hollywood. He'll be in the movie soon.
Right. Go on. Like I feel like at this point you can go right behind Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady.
oh well, yeah. Well, like I said, once again, man, it didn't really make no sense. I'm not gonna keep stressing enough that it didn't make no sense to trade Derek Carr. Not at least not this year. You know, you only had Derek Carr and Devontae Adams for one season, and then you got rid of him. It didn't make no sense. That was the whole reason why Devontae Adams came to Las Vegas in the first place. Him being Bay native, also Cali kid. You know what I mean? He wanted to
Yeah,
hook
But at
teammate.
that point, it wasn't even about Devontae Adams. It was more about Derek Carr not producing once he got him.
And I don't
yeah.
care.
And the point is, he's gone. He's
He's
gone.
gone.
There's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
gone. So,
But it's like, did Derek Carr do much? I mean, you got who you wanted,
right.
and then you didn't do nothing with it. So then it's like you want us to keep you even more after all these years of not giving
Yeah,
us.
it's a business. It's a business.
That's a money game. Then at that point, we wasting money on you, and
Yeah,
we
the
just got Devontae Adams.
crowd was not. They were not David Carr. They were not Carr friendly anymore.
No,
They had enough of that guy.
But yeah, but you gotta look at Carr, man. I gotta give some love to Carr from different coaches to moving from Oakland to Las Vegas. His coach getting fired for some crazy allegations.
but you
I
know
mean,
what that's called? That's called the NFL. It happens every day.
the man.
And on a personal level, I agree. He's a nice guy. It's not his fault. But at the performance level, he's still not doing good.
That's all
Yeah.
you. At that point,
Yeah.
that's all. That
Yeah.
you can't blame nobody but
Oh,
yourself for your performance.
He's
They need
looking
to-
horrible down there. Did you see the game the other night? And on Thursday night, down in the same guy. I'm watching his teammates trying to talk to him on the sideline. He's giving them yeah, and then walks off. They look at him like, dude. So, I don't know. Maybe he should talk to his older brother, about working on this game in the off season. There's no timing with his players right now. I'm not, I think you can do better,
I don't
Yeah.
think there's too many teams that are gonna want to grab him. So if he don't work out where he at now,
Well, then it's
they
even
gonna
like
let him go.
the Bears. The Bears came to show tonight. However, like we was talking about Josh Jacobs, first of all, you had the number one running back in the league in rushing last year, and then you don't want to pay him, so he's out of camp. He doesn't show up to camp, comes to camp late, and now he's not season. So it's really no method to the madness. Shout out to Josh Jacobs for not going public with how he feel, but I can imagine how he feel as being the leading rusher the season before, and he doesn't get his payout, and get his extension on his contract.
Well, something, Coach. I want to say something about that. If you look at the NFL now, running backs don't get much respect anymore. I mean, look what happened to Zeke Elliott. I mean, look what happened to the running back up there at Saquon Barkley. They're not really getting the money as that the old NFL where they would get large. It's the tackles that's getting the money. The quarterbacks are getting crazy contracts.
Right.
The NFL have a plethora of backs. Look at Miami. They got like 6 running backs.
Yeah.
So, they realize that you can get a running back a dime a dozen. Every year, Kansas City has a new running back.
But they kind of starting to slowly treat the quarterbacks like that too. Because I've been seeing some teams got about 4 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Boss,
well, that's because of injury, though.
Coach Boss, I gotta chime in. I disagree with that, man. You can't get a running back a dime a dozen of a Josh Jacobs. You can't get a running back a dime a dozen of of a Najee Harris. Those running backs, running backs like that don't come a dime a dozen because the value they bring to the table. Now, yeah, you got some running backs that's decent, but then you got some running backs that's some game changers. You know what I mean? Like, so for them to kind of like devalue the running back to me is totally wrong, man. I don't understand why because come playoff time, when it's cold, you're gonna need a solid, strong running back to help.
Well, I
it's
don't
the
know if
nature.
it's necessarily being devalued as it is. Maybe it's creating a new identity for it because they've created a whole new defense just for running backs. So it's like, so now how can we overcome that for running backs? Got to make them bigger.
And it's the nature of the business. Look at the Cleveland Browns with Nick Chubb and the other back who names escapes me right now, but they got rid of him. You had 2,000-yard running backs, and you decided to get rid of one, and the other one took a pay cut. The thing about it is, the league just is not favoring running backs anymore. It's been the history of that. There was a running back who played for the Chicago Bulls where they begged to pay this man his money, pay this man, and he was loyal to the team. Same way up there with Kennard Robinson in Seattle. He had to sit out because they wasn't going to pay him his money. But you let a guy like Bosa, right, who comes in the league, leads in sacks, and then you break the bank for it, right? And now he's having a subpar season. I mean, I'm just saying, who has a harder fight, a running back or a defensive end? So running backs get the legs beat up, bruised. Now the truth is, there's only so many Marshawn Lynch's. Najee Harris, yeah, but he only averages like 3 yards a carry. But a Marshawn Lynch with a 7-yard a carry, what's this guy who played for what's his name? He played for the New York Giants, Saquon Barkley.
Right.
See, those are the guys, who average 5, 6 yards a carry. Those are the guys who are different, baby.
That's what you want.
Yeah. That's what you want. Right. I'm a Josh Jacobs fan, but apparently, the owner decides that it's more important to get the ball. The Raiders has always been a team that want to throw the deep ball anyway. They only want to ground and pound when it comes to the running back, but they always want to throw the deep pass. That's a Davis thing.
Bad they can do that, but Jimmy G, hope he get healthy. Now what's up with this next game? What we got talking about? What we going here, man?
We're gonna go with B Moore and the Lions.
Baltimore Ravens and the Detroit Lions, man. To me, wow, that was like the most
they got stumped
week right there. You know what I mean? Detroit Lions, they came out looking like kitty cats. I ain't gonna even front, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the Baltimore Ravens did handle their business. Everybody thought this was gonna be a great game. I thought I got my popcorn right. I had sat down, had got me some popcorn. I was ready, I had my little coffee on the side, my popcorn, my peanuts, ready to watch the game, and I see a straight blowout. I'm like, what's going on? I mean, once again, it's back to the organization, getting the team ready, proper preparation prevents poor performance. You got to be prepared, man. When you got a mark on your back and you're trying to, turn the corner as the Detroit Lions, they ain't never really, they've never won a championship since I've been born. I've never seen them win a Super Bowl. So, these are times you got to step up and to come out flat how they came out. Jared Goff, he got to play better.
Mm-hmm.
Jared Goff had a subpar game. Lamar Jackson kind of like just had his way with him. Shout out to Lamar Jackson with the Baltimore Ravens. They came to Baltimore and got dealt with. You know, I heard there was a lot of chitter chatter going back and forth between both teams. They was talking like the Lions was talking like they was finna come do something, and they put up basically a dud, man. You know what I mean? So, y'all, Detroit Lions, y'all gotta get more prepared. Y'all gotta step y'all game up as far as when it's time to come to the big games. Jared Goff, you know, shout out to Jared Goff. You know what I mean? Coming from Cal, you know, my top college I love, but Jared, you know, you got traded from the Rams for a reason, you know, because you feel like you can't win the big one. I'm not trying to throw a knock on you because you're looking real good this year, but every time when it comes to the big game, it's like, man, you don't show up. You know what I
But
mean? So
even but with the Ravens, that's one team where you know the heart of that team is to play hard football. So even on their worst day, you should not come unprepared, especially
yeah,
at a home game. And you're a 5-1 team now. You 5-2, but
yeah.
you
Well, that was in Baltimore. They
that
was
still like you didn't even try. You kicked 2 field goals in the fourth quarter. You couldn't score anything else for
right,
3 quarters.
right. That's terrible. That was just
Come
terrible.
on,
That
that
was a terrible
you
game.
playing like you play in high school.
Right, right.
This is
That
it.
was
2 field goals. That's it.
I mean, you got a lot of people was really saying y'all was like everybody. We looking at the Detroit Lions like y'all top 5 team this year. Y'all gonna make the playoffs. Y'all looking like y'all gonna make a run. I'm not gonna, you know, it's only a regular season game. However, you know, you can't make no noise to say you're gonna make a deep playoff run when you don't even show no fight. You know, on the road. One thing I always learned, you know, you can play great at home. You know, everybody played great behind their home field, but when you on the road, it shows really what kind of made up team, what you built of. You know what I mean? So,
But they couldn't get the run in either. So they had to focus on passing, but their attempts compared to their completions and attempts, it was 33-53. But then you got the Raiders over here at 21-28.
right,
The
right,
ratio is totally different. There's more completions. So
definitely.
it's
That was a
like that defense wasn't coming to play today. That's why they
Defense
couldn't run
didn't
the
come to
ball.
play. Another big issue, if I may interject, was turnovers. See,
Yes.
one thing you notice on the road is your second string players, your fill-in players, typically don't play too good on the road. That's why they're not first string. And turnovers are killers. Some of the better teams who lost today, is because of turnovers. I want to point out something too, though. There's an element that's taking place in the game of football right now, and you're starting to see the switch begin to happen, and that is the weather. It's getting a
Yeah.
little colder. The tougher teams, maybe not so good at scoring, maybe not having these high offenses, but that smash mouth football. You about this time next month, woo wee,
It's a
we're gonna
wrap.
see some great games, baby. It's getting cracking.
Knees
great.
don't get to popping.
That's
Yeah,
great. Detroit Lions definitely do play in the dome. You know, a lot of dome teams do good outside, especially in Baltimore. And like you say, they're a gritty, tough team. I mean, shout out to Lamar Jackson. Like I said, you know, I felt like he deserved a bigger contract. However, he didn't cry about it. He took the money that the Baltimore Ravens gave him, and he being a leader, he looking good. If he stay healthy, they should definitely make a deep run because he's a great leader.
You think he gonna stay with him
Well, he got the
for the long
contract.
run? For the long run, though.
Well, that's a great question. I mean, you know, I feel like Baltimore, the city's behind Lamar Jackson. I feel like the organization's buying in. You know, they need some receivers down there. You know, I feel like, you know, Odell Beckham is nice. That was a pretty cool pickup, but you know, he's not always 100% neither. I just think he
Not once
still,
he gets injured.
yeah, I still think he needs a real true wide receiver down in Baltimore, a real number one. You know what I'm saying?
A healthy one.
Yeah, they got a great tight end in Andrews, but um, yeah, they, you know, I think he would stay. He just need a better wide receiver, but he's still as a leader, man. He's, you know, as far as he goes, the way the team go.
Yeah, I don't think that they can be a championship team, and I mean like AFC championship team. I don't think they can win the conference with just running the ball with the quarterback run. That's going to get him hurt. I don't really know the identity of what is. It's like they play schoolyard football. What is the identity of the Baltimore? Are they a power running team, or do they have a West Coast type offense? Do they have I mean, I don't understand what are their identities right now. Today, I believe they beat Detroit because of their defense.
Yeah.
The defense just rolled over them. And so I'm curious to see what is going to happen when they get the one receiver back into the game, and when they need some corners too. Today, Golf didn't have it. He looked like the old Golf, where he just was unsure the pass rush was coming. He got a little bit shook, took a couple sacks, began to overthrow the ball, throw the ball behind, so they just kind of got jumped on him real quick. But I'm just curious, what is the identity of the Baltimore Ravens?
Well, I mean, I disagree with you on that. I think the identity of the Ravens is tough nosed football. One thing
Yeah, that's okay, but what I mean by that, on the offensive side, are they going to be a running team? Are they going to be a passing team? Are they going to have a balanced attack? I mean, that's the identity I'm talking about. We know that they're a tough physical team,
Yeah.
but you gotta come up with something, because right now they cry now. I mean, smile now, cry later. You don't know what you're going to get from week to week.
Well,
Hit or miss.
like we say, NFL's any given Sunday. I mean, I think like as long as they got Lamar Jackson, man, you got a top 5 quarterback, in my opinion. And I think, uh, that you have a tough nosed football. I think they got a strong running game, of course, with him, and also with the running backs they have. They got a strong tight end in Andrews. Um, I just feel like that they need a better wide receiver. I think they get a real true number 1 wide receiver, like say like a Devontae Adams, say like a Devontae Adams type of caliber wide receiver. That'd be sky's the limit for him. A Tyreek Hill. They need somebody that can go over the top. You know, and but besides that, with Lamar, when he has to run a lot, that's when they're in trouble because he gets injured.
Well, you just gave the blueprint on how to knock them out of the playoff race. If all they have is a quarterback, then what else? What else do they got to go through? If they get rid of the quarterback, who's their backup?
Right.
Not like that. Not that's gonna make an impact.
Well, right. And then I mean, with Detroit,
who you say, is it Josh Johnson?
No, Josh Johnson.
No,
Well,
he plays for them. He's on the team. Josh Johnson is second and third string quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh,
I
wow.
mean, who's the backup? Who do you have? Who did you say, Alexa?
I'm about to tell you right now.
Yeah, who's
to find out who's
we got Josh Johnson and Tyler Huntley.
Oh, wow.
Tyler Huntley. So yeah, you get rid of, if he leaves, that team's in trouble. We seen this happen last year. Went on a 4 or 5 game losing streak. So that's what I mean by identity. If they had a power running game, then if he was to go out, they can just hand the ball off.
Because you know who I would have liked to see go to Baltimore, though? I would have liked to see Zeke.
Hey, that would have been a good.
Would have been nice.
That would have been a good pickup.
Think about it. He played.
Yeah,
That's good. That's all he need. Have some tough linemen. Zeke would have thrived with the Ravens. I don't.
Well, but once again, like we said, the Lions I heard was talking trash to the Ravens, and the Ravens came out and played because they motivated them. You don't want to hit the bear, poke the bear, as they say, But once again, The Ravens came out strong. The Detroit Lions came out flat. And I'm gonna say this to Jared Goff of the Detroit Lions: if y'all want to be respected as
Keep
a
your mouth shut.
respected as a top football program, you know what I mean? Y'all got to come to play every Sunday. You know, you can't lay no egg like that. They did. Uh, they usually have great wide receivers over there in Detroit. They got supposedly, one of the better defenses, but
They
they
got
definitely
they got the big
Not today.
Hutchinson that came out of they got Adrian Hudson that came out of Michigan. You know, the number one draft pick.
right.
He's number two in sacks. He's number one in power rushes or pressures against the quarterback. But again, they double teamed him today. He wasn't really effective. I just think that they were on the road, and they got their hats handed to them today.
Yeah, no. Now Pittsburgh. Now we got Pittsburgh Steelers. The
I wouldn't
Pittsburgh.
want to be on the bus going home to Detroit tonight.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I wouldn't. That's a long ride home, man. That's definitely a long ride home. Now, what's up with them Steelers and them and the Pittsburgh man and them that Pittsburgh Steelers and the LA Ram?
Great game.
Great
Great
game.
game. Yeah, I got to hand it to Coach. You and I were just talking the other day. Never had a losing season. Got to hand it to her. Yeah, Mike Tomczak. One thing I like about Pittsburgh is they're one of the teams that you can measure the NFL during the cold weather. They get when the tough keep going, they go and get tough. Pittsburgh begins a bunch of no-name players, right? They get to start hitting hard, playing solid football on both ends of the ball, right? And they just win. And right now, today, they went to 5-2. They had a 4-2 record. They went to 5-2. And I just believe that it was just good old-fashioned, ugly, smash-mouth football, and they pulled the victory out.
Yeah, I'll piggyback on that. One thing I can say about Mike Tomlin, first and foremost, one of the best coaches, not just NFL, but also in history. I mean, his numbers don't lie, Mike Tomlin, like you said, Big Boss, no-name players. When you got no-name players, that mean, and you can turn them to wins, that means you got a great coach.
Yeah.
Because that means
you can make something out of nothing.
Come on, man. He getting them prepared every week in, week out. To me, he's top two coach in the league right now. I mean, Ben Roethlisberger's not there no more. Old school big Jerome Bettis not there no more. And you would think
make it work.
You would think on paper the Chargers supposed to win this game. I mean, and the look to the Pittsburgh Steelers, to me, it's all coaching. It's all preparation. They just better coach. They're a better team. And it just shows with their continuity, like we saying, as far as stability. The Pittsburgh one of the most stable organizations in the league, man. It shows week in, week out.
Well, let's go back to that identity thing I'm talking about. See, if you notice, every year they play with the attitude that their coach brings to them. They play with a toughness. They play with a never say die, and they believe in their coach. They believe in the system, and they play. You can see it all over the football. Now, I like the Rams. I do. The Rams are a feisty team. They got a young quarterback down there who's got a monster arm. They got some good running backs. Yeah, but there's a problem going on down there, and I believe that problem is that they have a bad locker room. Okay, because they're too talented of a football team to come out and just get intimidated by other teams to where they make a lot of mental mistakes. Today's game was obvious that Pittsburgh leaned on them, and they began to make mental mistakes. Couple crucial interceptions, which wasn't really quite the quarterback's fault. There was one tipped one that got intercepted, and then there was other one who just was a bad throw. But they got one of the best pass rushers in the NFL, a young T.J. Watt, who is a monster. who just is relentless in his pass rush. And I tell you what, between him, Bosa, and Adrian Hudson, and the other guy, Crosby with the Raiders, I put my money on TJ Watt any day.
Oh yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
definitely LA Rams. I mean, once again, they are up and down team. I think they're a good coach team too. But they're more finesse. Like you said, the identity, they're a little more finesse. They're not just the most physical team. Matthew Stafford, I would say a pretty good, great talent, but he's not the most. He's a lot of turnovers. He's not the most. He's a gambler when he's back there. He throws a lot of interceptions. He's a gunslinger, as they say. Uh, but once again, that comes with coaching. Sometimes he needs to make a few better decisions when he's
But
out there.
the Rams are like that primary example team of like, no matter if you came out on top in terms of your stats, it really doesn't matter. Because they technically have more yards than the Steelers. It just so happens the Steelers did more with theirs.
Right.
That's what you mean by identity. When it works, when it counts.
Mm-hmm.
It looks good to just run up and down the field, but if you can't score or if you self-destruct,
empty calorie.
what was your self-destruct? What was the penalties? Who had the most penalties?
The most penalties, the Steelers.
The Steelers, okay.
They had 8 penalties, but the Rams had 5.
Okay.
How many turnovers? What was the turnover?
Rams were the only one with the turnover.
Yeah. See, and so that seems to be
that probably is what shifted the game.
Yeah, that was the crucial part.
Rams might have took that once. That was a good game.
Right.
It was a good game, see.
Yeah, but once again, like I said, man, Pittsburgh always come prepared, ready to play. It's a few games this year I thought Pittsburgh would lose, and they won. Shout out to Snoop Dogg, man, major Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh still a fan, black and yellow, man. They came to town. So be on the lookout, man. Like we said, under the radar. I don't think they're under the radar no more. I think, man, Pittsburgh might mess around and sneak and take the AFC Central, man.
They do every year.
Excuse me,
this is part of their identity. They start off slow, and as the season grows on, it gets weary. That the toughness prevails for them. The AFC Central is probably one of the most win-loss divisions in all the NFL.
Definitely.
Every team is always 8-8. 7-9, 9-7. No team in that division just runs away with. Yeah, right. But they play in the element. They play in the snow. They play in blizzards. It's a hard-nosed football. Yeah, they may not be flashy, may not win a whole lot of games, but nobody wants to see that division in the playoffs.
Do you think it's gonna come a point in time though where every football field is gonna turn into a dome?
Well, that's up to
I feel like the weather is becoming just so unpredictable now. I feel like at some point all of them gonna rebuild.
Well, that's up to the fans, though. See, because you take like a Green Bay Packers team, they
love it.
Yeah, they want to be in it. They want it as cold.
They like, give me my beanie and my scarf. We outside.
give me my cheese head, and I'm out here.
Yeah.
The same way with Cleveland. They only become good till it starts snowing.
Yeah.
That's how they beat the 49ers. It got cold and the game turned.
Minnesota too.
That weather is no joke. Yeah, I mean that's a great question. I believe it possibly can, but I think some teams use that to their advantage, as far as they.
You have to, and you should.
However, due to the fact of the weather in the winter, it has been getting pretty crucial. So soon to come and soon to see how that's going to turn out.
Hey, I got a question.
Yeah.
I got a question. I don't really want to diss off subject. I was just watching the Philadelphia game. And, two tough teams. But what do you guys think about the tush push?
We'll get to them
Oh,
after.
Okay.
We're
Because
gonna cover we gonna
am
cover
I
the
ahead
big
of
game
schedule?
last because that was a big game.
Yes, it was a big day.
what's up with,
Okay.
That was a big
oh,
game.
what's up with them?
All
Man, I got a homie named Melvin been cutting my hair all my life, right? I ain't gonna
right.
lie, man. He been a Chief fan since Christian Okoye, since and man, I can't lie, man. Like to see the Chiefs doing their thing right now, I mean, and it's crazy to me, man, because he was the only dude I knew that was rocking with them Chiefs since day one before they won Super Bowls. I could say that. And the Chiefs looking real good, man. The Chiefs played who the Chiefs play
The
today, Lex?
Chargers.
The Chargers. Chiefs Chargers.
But
What are the Chargers got on?
it's interesting because the way you describe the Steelers is the way I would describe the Chiefs. They're that team where it's like even when they look horrible in a game, they always find a way.
They find a way to win. But
That's
Every time
I
they
don't
get
want
down
to
in
take
the
nothing.
trenches.
Try not to take nothing away from the Kansas City Chiefs. They are the defending champs, right? We respect the Kansas City Chiefs and everything that they do. They got one of the greatest coaches of all
And the
time. I
greatest
mean,
quarterbacks, Mahomes.
and the greatest quarterback. I don't know about all time, but he's up there. He's definitely top five. And I'm saying the coaches have the offensive minded guru, but the Chargers defense was horrible, you know. And I'm just saying that there's no way in the world you let one guy beat you. How many targets did he have today? I mean, how many, are you not going to guard Travis Kelce? I mean, this guy got like 15 right down the middle over and over again. It was embarrassing. Sometimes I wonder, how do we pay these guys? Do
right.
we really
Travis.
pay?
Because he was just
Wow.
running all over he was running around in circles on them.
Man, he was running like he was at the
One
amusement park.
about
Like it wasn't even a challenge.
Yeah, really. He just sitting there.
Travis Kelsey, you know what I mean? When he see his lady skybox, man, he show up and show out. Shout out to
Oh Lord.
I, I mean,
Not you talking
like
about the
feeling,
Swifters.
ain't nothing like when you look in the stand and you see your woman up there and she rooting for you, man. He going, hey, his game is astronomical right now. I don't
Yeah.
know what
Well,
He
his
said,
game.
"You get me to sold out tickets,
He,
I'm gonna give you a show."
hey, every time
well,
telling feeling, he putting up 3-4 tuds.
I
Every
well,
ain't
the
time,
gonna
truth
lie
is,
though, it's kind of annoying me, like all the hype, because I'm like, there's
yeah,
plenty of football players that's dating somebody real famous, and this is like, so now football is becoming like a VH1 reality show.
yeah, it's
uh,
showtime.
Like they literally broadcasting her having a secret handshake with Mahomes.
Right? Like, come on, man.
Come on,
It's the business. Hey,
man, if
but
you don't get
I
back on
can
the field,
say that honestly, even Travis Kelsey, mentioned, hey, kind of tone it down a little bit, because he's got to go in the locker room. He's got to face the guys, and then the NFL,
yeah.
he's hearing it. They're hearing it. They're saying, these guys is talking, saying the worst things and the worst to one another. They're saying stuff about her up there. So it can be a curse too, you know, it,
but
it,
Can be.
right now, they like it's working to me. It look like everything's working to me. I mean,
But
hey,
just wait, that ego gonna show. And when they keep asking
well,
questions about Taylor Swift, like when they're doing, the conferences afterwards, he gonna get
yeah,
tired of it.
yeah,
He
well,
got he
and I
got a
don't
bit. Let's
know
be
if
real.
I
Travis
agree.
Kelsey has a big ego.
well,
Well,
it's no
well both the Kelseys do, but I don't know if I agree with his working because that's taken away from what he did long before she even showed up.
Yeah, now
So
that's Taylor Swift's boyfriend.
yeah, well, so who cares? He's been Travis
who,
Kelsey. Travis
who
Kelsey,
cares? The
yeah,
word,
who cares?
They
man,
probably
I
every
mean,
already got an Instagram account with their names combined already.
I mean,
I'm not a big fan. I'm really not.
uh,
I don't know one song she sings. So
okay.
that's what I'm talking about. Who cares?
Listen, I'm
Taylor
not.
got some big starring on cap.
I'm not here. Uh, I'm not here saying I'm the biggest Taylor Swift fan in the world. No, I'm not saying that. However, what I'm saying, the energy she's bringing to the team and the game, uh, you know, really making the Kansas City Chiefs. They're playing better. And
Well,
Kelsey,
the only
You
energy
mean to
she's
tell me they're
bringing.
playing better because of Taylor Swift?
Shit, that's what I'm saying. The only
well,
energy she's bringing.
Come
The only energy
on.
she's bringing.
Are they bringing more views to the
Yeah,
screen?
that's what
Yes.
she's bringing.
But is it
She's
making the
bringing
game better?
non-football.
that's
No.
why I
Come on.
said energy. That's what I mean by energy. The
Yeah,
energy out there. I'm not saying it, but the energy, the hype around the game is just like the Lakers. It's just like the Lakers when you got Jay-Z on the sideline. You
It's a show.
got Denzel Washington sitting courtside. It's a different element. It's a
Jack
different energy.
Nicholson.
well,
Yeah.
it ain't making a win no more. That has nothing to do with their wins and losses. Yeah, it may sell tickets, it may get more television views, but it ain't got nothing to do with their winning. That's kind of an insult to Kansas City.
I'm not saying it because they've been winning. Like you said, they got 2 Super Bowls
Yeah, the
regardless.
proof is in the pudding.
I
You just
agree
got
with that.
added on fans.
But however, it's bringing some type of energy down to Kansas City,
Yeah,
baby.
well, hey, how
But this is
about
going to start
E40
a
at the
trend.
sideline?
It's going to
Front
start a
row
whole new
40.
trend.
Yeah.
Yeah, we understand with that. We got E40, so the Raiders got us.
E40.
Yeah, the Raiders got Ice Cube. I mean, there's always
I
somebody
mean,
who
shout out to E40. Shout out to
Cody Water.
40
Water.
front row 40, front
Yeah,
row 40.
but it's not bringing the whole magic. No Taylor Swift. That's a
Well, let me
little.
ask you a question. Okay, so let me ask you a question. Do you think if Taylor Swift was in Baltimore, or better yet, was in the New York Jets, that the crowd would be hollering Taylor Swift? No. Those goombas up there in New York, New Jersey would tell Taylor Swift to go home. If she was in Baltimore,
Yeah.
nobody would say nothing.
That's because the East Coast is a little different.
Yeah, they're a little
They're a little
rough behind
different.
the edges. She's in the right place at the right time.
Right, because I'm telling you, they would have been like, okay, so back to the game.
Yeah, boo. They
Oh,
would have been playing her.
but back to football. I'm gonna say okay, y'all knocking Taylor, but I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna knock right now. I'm gonna knock the LA Chargers and saying that the LA Chargers are definitely playing under their talent. I mean, they got a great quarterback in
Yeah.
LA. So they lost to the Cowboys, I'm a shout out to the Cowboys. Right now as far as the bounce back after the loss from the 49ers. I was like, let me see how they play against these Chargers. They did get the W against the Chargers. I think the Charger coach, once again, he won't be there. He's definitely in a hot seat.
Who,
Because
the
they
OC?
just the
Kellen Moore?
the head coach,
The head coach. Okay.
the head coach for
I was
the
gonna
L,
say I'm pretty impressed with Kellen Moore right now in terms of the running game.
the head coach.
It's got a heck of an offense strategy. I like.
Yeah, we got a great quarterback. I don't
But
think he's
today was defense. It was a
yeah,
defensive problem. Yeah.
the LA Chargers is not playing to their maximum. And then, they gotta play harder. They gotta come up to play. The Chiefs has been dominating. It's crazy, the AFC West. I mean, it's like Pat Mahomes, I believe he only lost 3 games against NFC West AFC West opponents. He's only lost 3 division games. That's incredible.
That's big. Yeah.
You know that? So it's like since he's been in the league, he's only lost 3 AFC West division games. That's crazy.
That's big.
Yeah. So the
But
Chiefs,
I think this is a defense. It's a defense problem for the Chargers. I wouldn't say their offense is horrible, but it's their defense.
yeah, and
It
then the Chiefs,
started off okay, but
right?
then it's like as the second half came around, so did the
Well,
Chiefs.
you decided to let Travis Kelce, play Ring Around the Roses. I mean, it don't take a brain science to say, hey, guard number 87.
Even if you got 2 people on him,
Yeah, I mean,
because he gonna give you them yards. So it's like you either gonna nip it in the bud or you gonna let him fly.
One
Yeah.
thing, one thing about I know about Belichick is that he's not going to let your star player beat him. Okay, if you're going to beat him, you're going to beat him with everybody else. Your star players, no way. Well, you know,
Mahomes,
we had a huh? We,
I was
we we had a
Mahomes,
breakdown today.
go ahead.
Where
Go ahead.
no, I just said there was a breakdown today. No, nobody wanted to guard Travis Kelsey. It's
Yeah.
just, I mean, he's wide open. And if you're
Mhm.
gonna run a zone defense, at least spy him with a player. Don't just let this guy run. What I mean, hello,
Yeah.
star player, Pro Bowler,
Number one tight end in the league. I mean,
number one tight end in the league.
shout out what you said, Lex. Shout out once again, like what you were saying earlier, Lex, as far as great coaching, man. Andy Reid's always been a great coach. Since he started in Philly and bringing that whole vibe to Kansas City,
Yeah.
probably the best offensive, one of the top, I'd say, best offensive play callers, offensive minds in history, man. You know what I mean? You give him some talent from Donovan McNabb in Philly. He got the best out of him. And then to get Patrick Mahomes, I mean, man, it's hard to beat the Kansas City Chiefs when they rolling.
I
Yeah,
hold him
well,
to that up to that level with Mike Tomlin. They're just those types of coaches. Like we got good coaches out there.
Yeah. And then the OGs, man, them the OGs. We don't these new young coaches. I don't know what's going on because they're getting whipped by the OGs.
It's
The
new because they're trying to create like a new form of football, and I'm just like, I don't know.
like the new
It's
form of
getting a little
football,
too soft for me.
new form of football. What I totally disagree on, I agree with you. I totally agree. When you on the, you know what I hate, y'all? When you on the 2 yard line and you on the 2 yard line, you in shotgun. It's like, are you? I don't
Why not
understand.
run it in?
That's like that's blasphemy.
well,
To
they are trying to run it in. But what he's
you on a
saying
two
is that
yard,
you're already 6 yards in the backfield. I
you
mean,
on
it
a
makes
yeah. It's like, are you kidding? So that new football disrespecting the running back. It's crazy, man, because the new coaches, the spread offense, I get it, but to be on the 2 yard line in the red zone and shotgun all the time is
Because you see where they're putting the glitz and glam on the offense. It's with the quarterback and the wide receivers. They
that's
put
what.
they put more glitz and glam on that now.
and they and,
I don't feel like they put that type of hype on running backs since Zeke.
well, I'm talking about Marshawn Lynch, talking about it's a big topic, on the podcast earlier about Marshawn Lynch not getting the ball on the 1-2 yard line, a while ago with Russell Wilson. They didn't hand the ball off to him. It doesn't make sense, run the ball in.
Yeah.
To get back to the old school, the Mike Tomlins, the Belichicks, they know how to run the ball. They know how to have a balanced attack. And that's why they Super Bowl winners, those three coaches. I mean, period. That's just what it is.
And Pete Carroll runs the ball. The guy Peyton that used to coach Sean Payton down in when he was with New Orleans Saints, he had a power running game with Kamara and other backs. But yeah, I just think the people want to see the ball in the air.
Yeah, they want to see L's. Then they're gonna get some extra L's. You don't got no balanced attack.
I just don't think. Well, it's the Tom Brady thing. The quarterback that came out of the Aaron Rodgers thing. Good old Brett Favre. Everybody they want to see the ball go. When quarterbacks are starting to throw 40 times, 45 times a game, it's the game is more exciting. It slows the game down when you run the ball. Players are bigger, stronger. You're probably not averaging many yards.
Mm-hmm.
So, but when they air that ball out, the game gets exciting. Everybody's, oh, well, they want to see, speed. They want to see, diving catches. It's like going to the circus.
Right.
Moves. Because I seen some catches today. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, and that was sidebar. I'm gonna say this, man. As we getting, the Buffalo Bills definitely need to step their game up. Bad upset alert, quick upset alert. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Buffalo alert, upset alert. Buffalo Bills goes down to the New England upset alert. Yeah, that was terrible too. Like this week, this week of football has definitely been some surprises. But what about those Eagles fly versus those Miami Dolphins to that South Beach, versus the cheesesteaks. What y'all think, man?
Not the cheesesteaks.
Man, I love a Philly cheesesteak. I ain't gonna even front.
Thought it was.
Well,
I thought it was some good football until
I thought
it went the other direction.
it was a hard-nosed football game.
But it was a good football
Give me the
game.
score again. Give me the score again.
What was the score? The score was 31-17. They could have made a comeback, but the fourth quarter changed everything. Miami could have made a comeback. It was literally a one-score lead. They could have took it to overtime, really.
Well, once again,
but the Eagles defense, they came out on top. They was peeping the game with the running backs, and then it's like you losing yards now. So it's like at that point, Eagles took over.
Yeah, Philly, they're a tough-nosed team, man. I mean, and I'm gonna point out this, y'all. Like I'm seeing with good coaching, like I say, playing on the road. We've been stressing that on the road. Miami goes up to Philly, Sunshine State. You go back east, you go up north, back east where it's cold, the weather changes. And yeah, man, you got to be prepared. Like I said, you might want to go those certain elements maybe a day earlier than usually. You get used to them elements. I like what the coach doing down there in Miami. I like how he got them. They playing for him. They playing strong. Tua looking good. I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't the biggest Tua fan in past. I'm seeing a total 360 change in Tua.
But I like Tyreek Hill with him.
I just feel like Philly's the better team, man. Straight up, I just feel like Philly. They're the better team. They play good. They play hard. They got a great quarterback, great young quarterback. All around, they built strong, and it's gonna be hard to Philly, man.
But I've been keeping my eye on Swift too for the Eagles.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this, Alexis, with your Cowgirls. Your Cowboys.
Well, hold on. Let me give me an opportunity.
They gonna play that Philly team. Oh, I want to see that.
Yeah, let me get a chance to chime in on this one. I just want to say, well, first of all, you saw two of the toughest teams in the NFL right now. You saw two great powerhouse teams, two highly explosive offensive teams, both 5-1. But the thing is, somebody had to come away with a loss today. Unfortunately, that was the Miami Dolphins. In this game, it was back and forth the whole way. Defensive game. Most offenses couldn't really get open until the first turnover. Yes. After that, Philly began to flex their muscles, and their running game began. See, it's back to what football was built on. That once that running game began to take off, and they began to have a balanced attack, and even when the quarterback began to run, these young guys he is fast. I didn't understand how much speed he had until I saw him today. He's fast, and they could not tackle him, so he ran off a lot of yardage on today. But
because Swift impressed me with the Eagles because he's
he's a hard runner. Yeah, in last 3 weeks,
like he breaks tackles. I like running backs like that.
Yeah, last 3 weeks, Swift
from the hit, run through the hit.
That's right.
Yeah, the last 3 weeks, he's proven to be. He's come out of University of Georgia. He's just a power, hard running back. And shout out to the SEC. But yeah, he's just a dynamic, hard power running back. However, I want to say something back to the identity of the team. Philly, as you were saying, Coach Solid, this ain't the beach. You came up into the hard nosed backyard of Philadelphia,
Yeah.
and sure enough, the identity of that team is a tough, hard nosed team with a balanced, strong attackable running game and a. But you know who had the greatest game today was the
Ain't no pina
Lions.
coladas in Philly, man. Like you said, ain't no pina coladas.
No, ain't no none of that.
Oh, for real.
No,
But what
no,
Ain't
ain't
really, I
no
think what
broccoli.
made
Ain't
them,
no.
what made the Dolphins lose today was all them penalties. How you got 10
Well,
penalties?
yeah, you had a lot of penalties and a lot of bonehead penalties, but
The
it
Eagles
definitely
had
was.
zero,
wow.
Yeah, now
zero.
that's strange.
Yeah,
I
no,
know
that's
it's
good. That's good
possible.
football. That's
Yeah, but that's impossible.
clean,
You
good
can call
football.
holding. You do know you can call holding on every play if they wanted to. I
Yeah.
mean, it's almost impossible not to hold. But for a team to have none, I don't know. I saw a couple of pass interference penalties that wasn't called. One of them was a face mask. But hey, it is.
You know we got new players in the game now. It's called the refs.
Yeah, well,
Well,
they've been around.
good coaching. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's the refs on this. I mean, Philly is a disciplined team, man. They don't really beat themselves. You gotta beat Philly, man. You're gonna have to beat Philly. They're not gonna beat themselves with no crazy turnovers, as you say. Like quarter, he doesn't throw interceptions. He doesn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't throw interceptions. They don't turn the ball over a lot at all.
The
I
only
mean,
time he gets a run for his money, in my opinion, is when he plays a division team.
Jalen Hurts is looking like he's the truth right now. Jalen Hurts is looking like maybe an MVP type caliber tools, type caliber. Purdy, you got some quarterbacks playing in MVP status right now, and definitely Jalen Hurts is looking like MVP status.
Would you
Uh,
say it's Purdy or that Purdy just has the pieces?
Well, I
Pur-
think it's a little bit of both. I mean, first of all, we had the great matchup of the old Alabama teammates between Jalen Hurts and
Tua,
Tua.
that was
Because
dope.
they were former college teammates, yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
right. But we saw that again. The better player. I could just imagine. How he probably felt. This is my opportunity to show you. When you took my spot, that I was better than you.
wow.
And so yeah, so this game obviously meant a lot to it, and so it was. But I think today, unfortunately, Tua might have got one dimensional in the fourth quarter, just looking for the cheetah, instead of trying to hit his running backs out of the backfield. That's the points we're talking about, where you got to check down sometimes. You can't always try to go for, and that last pass that he threw, he missed a guy wide open over the middle. So it is what it is. Great
I,
shout out again to Fletcher Cox and those guys up front for Philadelphia with that strong pass rush. I mean, Tua was running all day.
yeah, I want to
He didn't have
piggyback
no
on.
choice.
I want to piggyback kind of what you said. The Alabama, for him to get basically traded and have to go to Oklahoma,
Mm-hmm.
uh, even Alabama because the Tua took his spot, and then to come full circle, man, he's doing his thing, man. Shout out to both of them doing their thing. I'm not a big SEC fan, Bama fan, but hey, they got two right now hot quarterbacks in the league.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
yeah, so we got real quick. We'll be here, Monday night. We'll be talking about, of course, the 49ers. What y'all for the 49ers play the Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota? The Monday night cap. What y'all think about that Monday night game?
Well, I know that the 49ers are not clicking on all cylinders. I think this is a crucial game. I think this game could be a game that, depending upon where the season is going to be headed, the next 5 or 6 games of this season. The 49ers don't have Debo Samuel. He's got a hairline fracture. After the MRI being negative, they found a hairline fracture in his shoulder. He's out 2 games. Yeah,
Mhm.
we get McCaffrey back. He's ready to go, but we don't have the big Trent on the up there on left tackle on the blind side. So we bring in, his backup. So I'll be looking for the attitude of the players in the warm-ups. I'm wanting to see, we still have our star corner out. So it's gonna be very interesting. I believe in this game. Minnesota likes to blitz a lot, so Purdy's gonna get tested. I believe the 49ers can win this game. We still got a lot of firepower. I look for Ayuk to have a big game. I look for the tight end. It was tight ends. Today was tight end celebration day.
Day or whatever. Kittles.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm thinking about Kittles, but him and Ayuk have a big game. If I was the coach, though, Coach Solly, if I was him, Alexis, I would tell you what I'd do. I would use McCaffrey as a decoy and bring in the big running back, number 24, Mason. I'd use him. I let him do the ground and pound and keep McCaffrey out there, out in the flats. Let him catch the ball and let him do what he do. I wouldn't run him. I wouldn't, let him. Maybe a few quick handoffs, but other than that, yeah. See, because the NFL understands that speed kills, right?
Yeah.
So in order, to take the threat out, they got to take him out. That's
Right.
just the nature of the game.
Right. Definitely.
I agree.
It's the nature of the game to take the threat out, and
Well,
you got to guard your speedy players.
well, yeah, for sure. One thing, once again, Minnesota is a up seesaw team. They play much better at home in the dome. Um, I don't see them. I don't see them winning this game. However, they do play better at home. Um, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be some good energy. I just think one thing with the 49ers, they got a high-powered offense, but Shanahan, he hits with his star players. He wears them out. To me, he kind of, as they say, goes to the well. He goes to the well a lot. When he has something going. So hopefully they can get healthy and be ready for the playoffs.
Right.
Stay tuned because we'll definitely be covering that game all over tomorrow.
Right, for sure. We'll see what happens tomorrow, man. Be on the lookout, man. Tune in.
And we're on our last segment. But this one,
what's up though? The thing with the
recap, no cap.
first focus, we got a part, recap, no cap. You know what I'm saying?
So,
Is it cap or is it real?
The last final question for y'all: who's the best and worst team of the night?
Wow.
Out of all the games we covered today, who was the best and worst team?
Well, I'm gonna say Detroit. I'm gonna say Detroit's the worst team today because you lost to a team that should have never even been um, on the field with you. They shouldn't even have been in the game. You should have took it to them. You just went in there and you overlooked them. I believe you looked at the week before and you lost a crucial game. You lost the Chicago Bears, a team that really wasn't believing in itself.
You mean Baltimore Ravens? Because
I mean, excuse, huh?
you mean the Ravens?
Excuse me, I'm sorry, I said, well, yeah, you lost to the Ravens, and so you went in there and you didn't fight hard. You just, you took that first punch in the mouth and you laid down and you got rolled over. I mean, it was embarrassing. I think that was the worst play of a team that was up and coming and on the rise.
I'm saying the Raiders. The Raiders were the worst team tonight.
Well, you got
looking at the score, they really didn't produce anything. The Bears
and they got
scored
ran all over
every quarter.
Yeah, and they got ran all over.
They
just ran the ball right down the middle all day long.
The star of the Raiders today was the kicker. Because he's the only reason why y'all on the board. He need a raise because y'all didn't get one touchdown.
Well,
that's the worst for me. And of course, I'm gonna have to go, even though it's my division rivalry, I'm gonna have to go with the Eagles as being the best tonight. That was a hard game. That wasn't no easy game.
Definitely. Well, for sure. I would say the worst team. I'm gonna agree with I'm agree with Coach Stallings, man, Coach Boss, man, to say the Lions, they stunk it up. That's no, that's definitely no cap. The Lions should have played better.
It's
Uh,
crazy.
and Lex, what you saying? Yeah, the Eagles. Go ahead, talk about the Eagles. What you think? Why you think they was the best team?
I just feel like their offense came out better on top, but they always prove that their offense is going to come out on top no matter who they play. You're literally going against a team that's kind of been a hot topic for the last couple of weeks and who they're looking forward to, but the Eagles still showed you that they're not intimidated by whoever you bring to them. Whether it's an away game or a home game, they still going what they say, fly Eagles fly.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna go
Well,
with the best. Oh, okay, I'm gonna go with the best. My best right now. I'm gonna say them Kansas City Chiefs.
They were my second. They were definitely my second.
Oh.
okay, okay.
And
They
the
were
reason
Well,
I'm
definitely my second.
and hey, one thing I like about them the best, man, like we talking about Taylor Swift, we talking about they love the attention, they thriving, they play good under pressure. The lights is on, they showing up, they showing out. I love it's no biz like showbiz. I love you could come out, the views is up.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, the views is up, the streams is up, the followers is up.
Yeah.
Hey, the touchdowns is up. So I say the Chiefs, man, they stepping their game all the way up. They will be definitely my team, the best team of the week.
well,
Mahomes out of sight, Travis Kelsey's out of sight, uh,
right.
Andy Reid's out of sight. They play. I mean, I'm gonna have to test with my man Mike Tomlin. He did his thing too, but I was thinking going with Pittsburgh, but I'm right now. I'm gonna rock with the Chiefs, man. I'm gonna rock with the Chiefs.
Well, everybody likes a winner, that's for sure. But I want to say my best team today would have to be the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta
Yes.
Falcons are underneath the radar right now. They have a bunch of no-name players on the team, not any superstars out there, but they're getting the W.
And
Okay,
if you didn't
right?
look at that post that we made earlier today on our Instagram, go check it out because I'm telling you, it was one of the highlights of the game today.
Atlanta
Yeah,
Falcons. Right?
I'm impressed with the Atlanta Falcons. They're getting the victories and they're doing it. And I don't think the rest of the league is paying attention. Do I think they're going to win the Super Bowl? No.
No,
Do I even think they're going to be in the NFC Championship game? No. But
they
what
might
they
get
are doing,
wild card.
is playing playoff football right now because they're winning the games and they're fighting hard on the road. They won 3 games on the road, one at home. So that's a sign of a tough team that can win on the road. And I'm just saying, yeah, I thought they were the best team today. I like the
Oh,
way they played,
Is it
and they were
just
the underdog.
is it just me or do you feel like away games don't even phase teams anymore like it once did?
Well,
I feel like remember once upon a time you used to feel like, oh, they're going, it's a home game. Oh yeah, they got that in the bag when it came to certain teams. But now it's just like anybody could get it.
yeah.
I don't know if I personally think that home field advantage still means everything, but you do have some top tier teams now, maybe about the top five that, yeah, they wouldn't be the top five if they couldn't play on the road.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a sign of a winning team is that they win on the road.
Well, I disagree with y'all on that. I'm gonna be honest, man. A lot of the top teams been stinking on the road. I mean, the 49ers lost to Cleveland. Freaking Detroit goes to Baltimore. L. I think, like you said, home field advantage, man. I haven't seen a road warrior team that like you said, you made a great point with the Falcons, but the top tier, I haven't seen no teams like you said besides the Falcons go in somebody else home, knock them up, and do their thing. Now the Cowboys, I give y'all a little bit on the Cowboys
Because
going
we
into,
do good. We do good at away
but
games.
once again, the LA don't have an identity. They sharing the stadium. You know what I'm saying? You got the Chargers and the Rams playing the same stadium, so that's not really a home field.
They
But
in
they
the
did.
same boat as the Raiders were when they were sharing with the A's.
Well, and let's talk about the 49ers. They only lost one game the whole season. And
No,
three of the games they played were on the road. So I mean, it's still too early to say that that at this time of being on the road, you don't see many teams winning. I mean, you lose one game, it
Yeah,
doesn't
halfway
define.
there, halfway there, but I don't. Yeah,
Because we're
but I
not
felt
even
like
halfway through the season yet. So it could
Not
go
even, yeah,
it can go any way.
they can,
yeah,
but yeah, it's a different level when you're going on the road and getting those W's.
always. Yeah,
Agree.
you went on the road, you're going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, period, period.
Yes.
Uh,
Hmm.
so yes, the recap, man. I'm gonna recap. Like I said, this week was definitely some surprises. I mean, it was definitely some surprises all around the league. Um, you know,
Offensive player of the day. Who's the offensive player of the day?
well, if I had to say offensive player of the day, my offensive player of the day, I'm gonna stick with Kansas City Chiefs, man. I'm gonna say Travis Kelsey, man. He lit up the scoreboard,
I
unstoppable.
agree. I
Uh,
agree.
probably, uh,
Yeah.
he's putting up
Put up
astronomical
good numbers.
numbers.
Hmm.
Um, you had a few players that you could, but you had a few players. I'm gonna give a shout out to Jalen Hurts. He looked good too. Jalen Hurts looked great. Uh, Pittsburgh Steelers as a whole, I'm going to say the player, but because like Big Boss said earlier, they have the no name team. So as a whole, they look good too. But if I had to go with one player right now, I'm gonna give it to Kelsey.
Yeah.
Travis looked great, man, and Taylor got him balling.
Yeah,
Hello.
well, I'm gonna go with AJ Brown of the Philadelphia Eagles. Oh, this guy was all over the place.
Yeah.
Catching bad balls, balls too high, balls over his head, deep balls, short balls, one-handed balls. Yeah, and see, unlike Kelsey, he was not wide open.
Mm.
This guy
Yeah.
catching balls with defense covering all double team,
Make
all
something out of
over,
nothing.
getting blown a sideline toe toucher, sideline out of the bounds. I want to go with AJ Brown.
That's a good one. Shout out to AJ Brown. He did his thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Well, okay, y'all. That concludes our first episode of Recap Sports Focus. And
Recap,
Recap, no cap,
cap.
recap,
tune in.
recap.
So tune in to the
Hello.
next episode. We'll be going on for Monday Night Football, and you'll get the commentary about that as well.
Monday Night Football, bang bang.
All right, bang bang, not a gang.
Versus the Purple People Eaters. Minnesota, hey, Purple Rain, Purple Rain, Purple
Shout
Rain.
out to Terry.
Bang bang.
Shout out to Kiddos. You're gonna have a big night. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, deuces.